Hello and welcome, Overwatch fans. We are here. We are live. Little EGFH action coming at you. I'm FBI Tugboat here with my man Captain at Soka. Captain, how we doing?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to get these games underway. Because you got to keep in mind, this is a new season. You know, we're about to get some new games in the books, so new scripts are going to be written, and new stories will be told. So I'm definitely looking forward to this first matchup against Mark T.
Sheehan.
Sheehan. I knew that.
Yes, sir.
I knew that.
Yes, sir.
And of course, we got the Huntington High School Blue Devils, who I'm familiar with just because, they are, I've got to see them play multiple times, of course, multiple different esports. I'm very familiar. They have a good program over there at the Huntington High School, but still, Mark T as well is a very formidable team. So honestly, this is a good one to start off the season.
It is a very, very good one. This is a Sheehan Titan squad out of Connecticut, I believe. Yes. Wait, I just had Wallingford, Connecticut. Wallingford, Connecticut, up there in the northeast part of the country. But yes, 100%. Sheehan Titans have been involved with EGFH for quite a while and have consistently placed towards the top. Gotta say, Huntington Blue Devils. This is obviously not going to be this team's first game of Overwatch, but we just have a little bit less information and history to go off of here right now, Captain Netsoka. Week 1, and it's going to be starting here in just a little bit. We do have our map pools, though. Our map pools where all this action is going to be going down. Up first, of course, Helios. We're going to be looking at the crowd favorite Kings Row after that. Coliseo for our push will be guaranteed. Circuit Royale for the 4th if we get there. Second control will be that Arctic Peninsula, the brand new map. Hey! And there was much rejoicing. Control 2 if we get there. If there is a tied map, 6th map, will be Lijiang Tower. We'll be looking at this one in just a second. While we have a second before we go to game, I want to give a shout out to our producer. That is Juke, producing away on the ones and twos, as they say, making our jobs as casters just so much easier.
Absolutely, and honestly, I'm just used to playing on Lijiang first. Like that, to me, just because of the way that we do things here at the EGF, it's usually Lijiang right off the rip. But you know what? Starting off on Ilios, this is a nice change of pace. No better place than Ilios to come to get a breath of fresh air here, and that's what we're gonna get as we get ready to get this game 1 underway between Huntington High and Mark T. Sheehan High School. And I'm liking the compositions. Look at this. We're gonna have. We got the Wrecking Ball, which is interesting. I absolutely despise that tank, but interesting to see them nonetheless. And then look what we have going on here. We have an Ana and a Zen coming out for the heels from Mark T. Sheehan. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yes, the Sheehan Titans definitely taking a more different look at this. Not a very mobile comp whatsoever. Not one, but 2 healers. No movement abilities whatsoever. On board right now, I like the capacity, big floppa. Out, getting the support that they need, as this one's now a bunch of shots coming in. Renegade, this is a fair that's actually getting a whole lot done right here. That's a really good angle. Looking for the Ana, does find it. Now it's just one more support to go. There you go. The Mercy does get out. Yeah, Alucard following in this one. Not going to be a bloodless battle for the Sheehan Titans. Pyro falls as well. That's going to go the way of the Huntington Blue Devils. And off the back of this fair play.
Yeah, and you see, this is the thing about the Wrecking Ball that makes them so annoying, because they are without a doubt the most mobile tank in the game, and it makes them that much more difficult to pin down. And honestly, even as a healer, I'm a healer main, and I gotta tell you, it is definitely a task to keep up with this Wrecking Ball. But when you have healers like Mercy, you being able to be just as mobile and keep up with them, it definitely makes for an interesting combo and really difficult to get that tank out of the way. Meanwhile, we're seeing Sheehan start to try and make a push here.
There you go. Nicely done. X-Man kill is not going to be able to stay alive through that one. Both supports here with ultimate. Headhunt is going to have freeze as well. Nicely done. Alucard's actually had a lot of problems thus far, just kind of staying alive. They need the first to fall here multiple times. That's a nasty stick, but hey, X-Man Kills actually should be kind of happy that they just took up all that damage here.
Yeah, now here comes Big Floppa. Meanwhile, that pin onto the wrecking ball is going to be huge, and meanwhile, Farah does get shot down out of the sky, and that was a huge dub right there, and out comes the ult from Zenyatta, and they should be able to hold on to the point now. As you can see, Alucard with the Soldier 76 will be the next on the chopping block, and right now, I got to tell you, Mark T. Sheehan, apologies, looking really good on the point.
Wow, yeah, so we're going to be looking at Titan squad that I feel like on paper this just absolutely dusts this pair up top, the Ana down bottom, but it's been a really back and forth game so far that we have gone. Headhunters had this Blizzard kind of waiting for quite a while. This Death from Above, that Pharah ultimate will be there soon as well. X-Men kills block coming in. That was sort of, wow, okay, so completely dusted out by that minefield right there, and X-Men kill is going to have a bit of value afterwards. Getting down low, that's going to be not one but two as Pyro's done. Headhunter follows as well. Gotta say, Yana's been doing a great job just by themselves, just kind of keeping up. Okay, never mind.
Spoke a little bit too soon, Tugboat, but regardless, it is a fantastic retake coming the way of Sheehan. Is now, you know, this is, I gotta tell you, this is one of the more closest starts that I have seen to a lot of these matches here on the EGF, because normally, you know, it usually goes one way or the other for the first time round, for the first game, but regardless, it is a fantastic start here, going back and forth. Meanwhile, you see the Blue Devils are beginning to make their way with the point. And right now, the Titans finally are coming through with a counterattack.
And Hunter first to fall here. And DPSs thus far. X-Man kills, bites off a little bit more than they can chew on that one, as it's going to be Jan's opportunity to try and get a little bit of dueling action going. The Junkrat on the other side, that this Jan Zen would have loved to take that Pyro. Very aggressive play right now. Here it comes, but that's another trance, just completely negate this out, even with that. Wow, okay, so Hunter actually goes away from Jan right there, and that's going to be enough for the Huntington Blue Devils here on first.
And a fantastic job it was at that. You know, and anytime that I see the Wrecking Ball come through, I always have a little bit of a question. Like, really? The Wrecking... Again, that's my bias, because I can't stand that character so much. But it did come through on Ilios, though. Keep in mind, you got that big circle there in the middle, and, you know, having that high level of navigation and mobility with the Wrecking Ball absolutely pops off on that map, especially on the first round when you have that big hole in the middle. You could just bump a couple of players in. As a matter of fact, you could probably jump in and then get yourself out. There's just so many options when you have the Wrecking Ball on that first round of Ilios. But now we're heading into round number 2. And take a look at the composition here, Tugboat. We have Hanzo now coming out to bat for the side of the Titans.
Headhunter, we'll hope that that one's accurate, paired up with this other DPS, Big Floppa. Perhaps a future in the NBA for Big Floppa, right?
One can only hope.
There you go. Okay. I thought it was funny.
Oh, wait, I just got it.
There you go. There you
My
go.
bad.
I had to let that one marinate for a little bit.
Yeah, and again, it's not because of the joke. It's just because I'm an idiot. But in the meantime, Headhunter does go down. Meanwhile, Man kills, or X-Man kills, rather, does nearly get killed themselves, but they're able to avoid the danger. And it will be Jan from the Titans, still sticking with the Zen pick. And I'll be completely honest, I'm not too keen of the Zenyatta pick as far as the healers are concerned. Like you said, not a lot of mobility with those two. I do like the anti-heals coming from Ana, but Zen, I'm not sure where they really find themselves in that composition.
I mean, I gotta say that Big Flop only took this ball pick a second ago because of these Discord orbs, but as long as Jan can stay alive, then I'm with it, but that is definitely way more so of a last map type of feat. 30% for Huntington Blue Devils, and the Sheehan Titan's going to be able to take this one back on over. Yeah, probably trans and then just change, really. I mean, yeah, it seems like every single one of these kills so far have been off back of that Discord orb.
Now, this is the part where you got to be a little bit nervous here. You got the Mercy on top of this Farah, and whenever you get that combo going, it is so deadly just because you have literally 2 flying characters. And now here comes the ultimate from Farah as they're able to get a decent trade out of that ultimate. And now it starts to appear that the Blue Devils are once again going in for the retake, as that was a huge sleep there. But Still, the Nano Boost does hold strong, and Ana will be the next on the chopping block, and then out comes the Earth Shatter! This Reinhardt is popping off.
Yes, it is. Now Pyro getting way too aggressive. There's Jan with that trans on the end. Here it comes. It's high noon, folks. Look at the clock. 12. Headhunter falls as well. Excuse me, Headhunter takes X-Man kills as well. Okay, so here's the other... Nasty headshot. Terrible headshot. Hate to see it. Been there myself. I feel you, Big Papa. Okay, so my point is, I would kind of examine the role of X-Man kills, because this is a 700 health ball that pops up to 1,000 immediately that's just going to really go forth and feed a lot of ultimates, especially with burst damage like Big Papa and Hunter on the other side. There it comes. There's the aim pod getting around Pyro. It's a bad angle right there. And that's going to be enough for Alucard to take out not one, not two, but three here, Captain. Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? I thought at first that I was really loving the changes recently to competitive Overwatch, but now I know I absolutely love the changes because Reinhardt is going insane. I love it. I'm sorry. Reinhardt was my go-to tank from the early days, now back into competitive Overwatch this season, and I love seeing some Reinhardt action. And right now, I gotta tell you, Pyro is not disappointing. They've been going on an absolute rampage, but let's see if they can finish off strong here in round 2.
Yeah, 100% agreed. 100% agreed. And it's just nice to see Reinhardt again, you know? Even with the shields, that X-Man kill is not going to be taken out a bit earlier. Jan falls right here. Huntington Blue Devil's going to be able to win this team fight and push it to maybe solo team fight territory. Uh-oh, that's a dive right there, and that is a snoozing Wrecking Ball until somebody wakes him back up. Hate to see it. Also been that Ana.
Now, you see, I really don't mind the Ana Mercy combo, but I will say that recently in competitive Overwatch, I am more of a fan of the Lucio Kiriko combo. I do like my more mobile healers. But, you know, this is also nice. This is working well because, again, you got Mercy, who is one of the more main DPS healers, along with Ana, who is an anti-healer. And, you know, it does make for a fantastic combo. But meanwhile, you can see that on the side of the Blue Devils, they are once again trying to steal this game away from the Titans, and now we are in overtime.
So Jan right here, I understand the need to touch on the point, but you are a transcending Zenyatta. You gotta get with your team. Jan right there. Okay, they're gonna be able to get a little bit of redemption action right there. Pyro with only a Zenyatta healing orb on him gets enough right there. If this is a Reinhardt that goes all the way back up to 625 off the back of a single... Okay, I was going to say, now the Ana's there, or 94, 95. Shatter in hand here for Pyro. This might just be a Shatter first player gets in type situation. Nasty charge, Alucard falls, Renegade follows suit. And just like that, Huntington Blue Devil is going to... Wait, hang on. Getting this backwards?
Score 1-1.
That would be the Titans.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
That would be the Titans, the mighty, mighty Titans. They answer back against the Blue Devils. Blue Devils almost stole that one, you know, but it was the Titans that managed to counterattack, play the retake, and then solidify their win. It was literally 100-99. So close. Honestly, that was a photo finish. But look at what is coming out on the side of the Blue Devils. Look at this composition. Yeah. It is about to go down. You have a Ramatra, Reaper, Echo, and then a Moira to top it all off. I'm sorry, that right there, that is a violence composition. The Huntington Blue Devils in round 3 have chosen violence.
Yes, they have. Woke up, only decision on their calendar. I really like this composition. I'm not against Sheehan's comp, but the only change here has been onto this Tracer. It's one of those things I wonder if either keep it the exact same or just change it up like a lot more, given this map is definitely a lot different. Pyro getting mega aggressive right there against an Alucard Reaper. That is not going to spark joy here, Cap.
Yeah, now you see for me with this for this particular round 3 map of Ilios, I'm really looking for honestly Winston and Lucio because I love boops. The boops are my favorite. I want all the boops. I want people going flying off the edge and getting those cheap eliminations. But no, we don't have a Lucio or a Winston,
really
so there will be no booping.
There's like no environmental kill capability here, right? Like there's no booping no repositioning of opponents that can be done on any of these 10 characters, especially since Reinhardt no longer has like that knockback really. Interesting stuff. Gonna find a way in edgewise to mark the Sheehan Titans. So far, this Ramatra has just completely read out the Reinhardt, and this is just not going to be enough to keep up that shield so far. Jan with the Transcendence early, unsurprised there. Big Father finds one as the Blue Devils lose a big source of damage. Now that's X-Man kills, finds there. Here comes the Ramatra ultimate. All shall fall before the Ramatra.
Yeah, also fall to that Earth Shatter, but I'm telling you, this pocket heal from Mercy right now, doing the absolute most, keeping this Ramatra alive, and eventually they will trade. Not a bad trade by any stretch of the imagination! And BB able to dodge the high noon and click heads with the Mercy. Oh my word, BB holding it down for the Blue Devils.
Someone clip that, please. That was the most inspirational Mercy play I've seen on this patch so far. My goodness, love to see it. Love to see it. Again, as a healer mains over here in the broadcasting booth, dope people, you're going to easily entertain us with support pop-offs like that.
You know what? I think I am what they would call an in-heal, as in I am an involuntary healer. You know, I'm telling you, I fill the heal role. Like, it's not because, oh man, I love playing healer so much. It's because no one else is willing to do it, and we need it. So yeah, I think that's the category I fall under. So yes, when you shout out the healer mains, technically, I'm in that category, not by choice.
There you go. Oh man, the very last second there for Pyro. The Huntington Blue Devil is going to put a cap onto map number 3 right there. This was a really, really good game. This was a really, really, really good game, Captain. Back and forth we went until the 3rd map, and I think this is just a Huntington Blue Devils composition that really won out the day. You know, Pyro, unwillingness to change over there from the Reinhardt. We loved it on the first 2 maps. I think on the 3rd one, we just kind of read this one out. Just play the Ramatra right here. There's not a whole lot that they can do, the big rectangle boxman can do, even with a 1200 shield against a Ramatra that just puts out so much damage.
Yeah, and honestly, I slept on the Zenyatta pick. Definitely, it came in clutch. They were able to play the game. I'll admit it. I slept on the Zen pick because even when I first started, you know, involuntary healing, I was a Zenyatta main. Oh, you can't help but chuckle anytime you hear that. But regardless, yeah, I was a Zenyatta main, and I have all of my unlocks, literally everything for Zenyatta. You know, you get all the unlocks for characters you don't use. Nah, I get mine on Zen. But regardless, I do love watching a Zenyatta get play the game. Especially because it's so difficult. I mean, honestly, it's a rare thing to see a Zenyatta get play of the game. So again, hats off to Jan there for being able to come through and really make a case for Zenyatta as part of that meta healing comp. You love to see it.
You really do. You really do. Personally, my play of the game, 100% that BB Mercy play. 100%. 100%. Staring down the barrel of 2 6-shooters and still, you know, being able to kind of play that corner really wonkily and getting down to I think 6 health or something like this, but it all was going to be enough. Love to see it. Kings Row up here next. Talk to me a little bit about what you would expect offensive wise composition.
Do we need to even go into the details of what to expect for Kings Row? This is literally the day 1 map. This is Overwatch default. We all know what's fitting to happen, or at least I think I do, but then again, Captain do in fact be capping a lot of the time. But regardless, a Rein. I do want to see a Rein. I want to see a Rein right there, especially if you're on the defensive side, because the hardest part on Kings Row for the offense is to get past that first wall, right? So if you can just bridge the gap with your own wall using the Reinhardt shield, then, you know, that's going to pretty much take and eat as much time off the clock as possible. And as far as healers go, this is a bigger map, okay? You're going to need mobility. I don't think you're going to be able to stick with that on a Zenyatta comp. You're going to need to be able to get back to the objective. You're going to need to be able to get back fast. I want to see Lucio with the speed boost, not only being able to get back into the action themselves, but bring their tank back. You have got to run back and get your tank back into the action ASAP. So I would think that Lucio is absolutely pivotal to being a support hero in Kings Row.
Yeah, and so the way I look at it is that you're never really going to have a negative effect applied to your team by having that Lucio, especially now all the healers Overwatch 2 get their own self-healing after a second damage. What I'm really looking at, like you said, that speed boost enabled, especially first point on King's Road. Just simply kind of getting it past the first choke point is going to be something that is usually not purchased cheaply.
Oh, absolutely not. So what I'm thinking, honestly, I was gonna say Kiriko too. So I'm glad that I see Kiriko coming there for the Blue Devils, but no Lucio. I'm a little disappointed, to say the least. Maybe I'm being biased. Again, captain be captain, but I feel like when you're on defense, that is such a long walk back from the spawn to the first point. So I feel like having that Lucio, being able to get not just yourself, but your other players back in the fight quickly is literally a huge difference maker, if not the difference maker. So it's very interesting to see. I would have preferred to see the Lucio Kiriko comp, the meta, but they're going to stick with the Ana picks. I do like the Ana picks. I really do. But like I said, I just think Lucio would have been just a little bit more advantageous. But we'll see how it goes as we are well and underway here in game 1. Well, rather round 1 for game number 2.
Yeah, so nasty charge coming in, a stick as well from this Cassidy right here. I admire the desire to want to go toe-to-toe with this Reinhardt, but on a chokehold like this, that is not going to spark joy, as they say. Nasty wall right here. That should be enough. No, it's not. My, oh my. Yeah, Ramatra is still Ramatra, I suppose. Kit is still essentially the same. There's a couple of nerfed abilities. Nasty shatter right there as Pyro gets awarded for their aggression for the first time on King's Row. Are going to fall both. There's no mercies on board, so this is going to be advantage offense.
Yeah, that it is. I mean, they got the hard part done. They were able to get rid of the tank, and their spawn literally right behind them. Meanwhile, Reinhardt has a long way to make it back into the action. As you can see, the push now going full and underway from the side of the Titans as they look to really overtake here. Meanwhile, Alucard definitely popping off, but look at that. Reinhardt did get back here in a hurry.
Wow, Pyro finds one on the backside as well. Little headshot action for Big Floppa against their counterpart. One of these Cassidys is still on the map, and I'll let you guess which one is Town. Big enough for both of us here, Captain.
Yep, and that nano boost is definitely going to make things a little bit easier for this Reinhardt, but the anti-nade does land. They're forced to back off, get themselves a nice little 10% heals. Meanwhile, Alucard back into the action along with X-Man kills. And to be completely honest, I'm very impressed that they managed to hold off this offense for so long.
There's the Coalescence in response. Immediate Blizzard. That's going to do good jobs to kind of section this one off until Pyro decides, hey, point is just no longer fashionable. It's 2023. I want to go out and make my own way in world.
Now it's going to be another attempt here. 1:45 remaining, and still little to no progress being made from the Blue Devils as they try to get themselves on the point.
Okay.
And now, look, there comes the minefield from X-Man kills. This might be what they need to get underway, but unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Meanwhile, Alucard waiting for the opportune moment to strike with the high noon.
I'm not sure if they know exactly where it's coming from. An immediate wall right here. 3 more seconds of zoning, so the Blue Devil is going to be able to purchase a little bit of space right here, and nothing. It is not 12 o'clock. Don't check the watch right there. Nice. He's charged, gets a lot of damage on X-Man kills. Big Floppa is going to fall in the thick of things right here. But, wow, okay, that was almost a charge. Yeah, nicely done from the defense, still holding strong.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane, the fact that they managed to hold off this offense for so long. And their composition is definitely working out for them. That Reinhardt there has just been pivotal of being able to really close the gap in that first wall. Meanwhile, you see Alucard trying their best, dealing a lot of damage, but still not being able to make any headway as the Earth Shatter is still in play for Pyro. And now they're making their way around, looking to get a big play, but they will be stuck. And Alucard is able to take down the tank from the Titans.
Wow, so 3 different ultimates getting dropped right here. The Cassidy ult, high noon, gonna be... God, I hate that ability so much, dude.
Oh, I can't stand it.
The magnetic grenade. Make it make sense, Captain. Make it make sense.
You can't make that make sense. That was like the biggest thing, and I was like, what?
A nasty shatter right there. Is that a... Do my eyes deceive me? Is that a Moira that has been nano boosted right here? No, it is not. Shots right across the middle. Here comes the Junkrat looking for Pyro and finds it. The Blue Devils may have just found a way in edgewise. A lot of damage, lot of damage. There you go, Mr. Billy taken out as well. Renegade and the Junkrat. That pick is going to go through. The Blue Devils drop everything in a kitchen sink to win this one and do the first full team fight bill, or team kill bill, excuse me, of this match so far, unless I'm wrong.
Well, it was the hardest part to get past, and they managed to do it with literally no time to spare. As finally they do take that first objective, but now we have ourselves an actual fight here on King's Row, as the Titans will begin to move the payload.
X-Man Kill's just been living this entire map so far as Purple. Rogue Slayer has been doing exactly what they need to thus far to really go forth and make sure the pressure is always on. That's a sleep. That's a attempted freeze here. Obviously, no Thermic Blaster doesn't freeze fully anymore, but still a lot of damage. X-Man Kill is doing exactly what they need to right now. Just go forth and be annoying. Pyro left by themselves for just a minute, but that's going to be A-okay with a wall up and not a whole lot of damage the other way. Only a tank to pay attention to on the other side. Pyro is just he's creating so much space. He's not being given anything, he's creating, he's taking it forcefully.
And you know what? I'm not mad at this Orisa change at all. I absolutely love Orisa on the tank pick, especially now that they're past the first objective, the first checkpoint, and now you got a lot of this alleyway fighting, a lot more avenues to take here. So again, having that Orisa out, I think, is going to give them the much needed mobility in order to really keep up with a lot of these plays. Meanwhile, the damages and eliminations are being delivered from the side of the Titans as they continue to try and push this payload forward, but all the while you can see the Blue Devils are managing to get a couple successful trades.
Didn't notice this earlier, but Mr. Billy onto this Moira here for the Sheehan Titans. Gonna be Headhunter out for the time being. Mr. Billy in. Rogue Slayer first to fall. Big flop on the chopping block and does. Nano Boost still there. Not gonna need it. The Blue Devils have purchased the space that they need.
Oh yeah, compared to the first checkpoint to this one, they're absolutely running away with it. And that was a beautiful ice wall to trap X-Man Kills, nearly being able to confirm that elimination, but they managed to roll away as they often do. Now we hear the Riptire coming out, and I'm not sure if that one was able to connect. I don't see any eliminations on the board, so that Riptire might have gone down and by the wayside.
Big Floppa tries that one, gets taken out in the thick of things. These ultimates really not finding as much value as they previously thought. Nicely done from the end to stay alive, and Pyro probably just wanted to actually shoot that player, not actually go for the full javelin. Actually kind of blew this Clover Anon over to safety right here. Pyro getting a lot of attention. The javelin spin keeps them alive. Cooldowns, cooldowns, and cooldowns as the Orisa way here. Overwatch 2 gets a little bit low. A-okay, javelin spin plus that. Here's the Blizzard on the end. This is going to do a great job of sectioning off points until until BB drops down, does fall. Sheehan Titans take out 2, and this just got so much easier to stop.
That it did, and this is exactly why I love having a May on my team, and I hate when they're on the other team, because they are literally, in my opinion, the closest that we have to a controller in Overwatch. Being able to come through with the ice wall and then constantly being able to slow their opponents just makes a huge difference in the long run. Meanwhile, you have X-Man Kills trying to solo this payload, trying to keep their team in the game, and they're doing a pretty good job at it so far. It is so hard to pin down X-Man Kills in order to get an elimination. Meanwhile, X-Man Kills are applying so much damage in the process, and Pyro again just going toe-to-toe on the payload.
There's a nasty spin up to 300. No need to... Wow, okay, so that was enough for the mines, but nobody else right here, and yet still, at this point, still contested. Mr. Billy fallen after stepping onto a mine right there. A purple attempt, but still spin to win for X-Man Kills. Big Floppa falls. Renegade BB done, but the Huntington Blue Devils have been in this exact situation, 30 seconds ago? Who knows? Clover right here facing a lot of attention and just trying to get those shots and the healing in otherwise. And on the other side, Clover doing a good job of that one. Here comes the Nano Boost. It's on to Pyro. Who else but Pyro? X-Men Kills as this team fight has gone on for now about 75 seconds. Javelin out. Tracer targeted. Renegade forced to use that callback soon. Here comes High Noon and nothing. Our Cassie's really not been able to find a whole lot. Here comes the Aimbot, though, that's a lot initially. The javelin spin on the end. Gotta focus on other players right here. No, excuse me, I'm the one who's wrong. And this is the Blue Devils now gonna be able to go in. 90 seconds is their reward, Captain.
Oh my word, I really don't think it gets much closer than that. That was absolutely insane, but at the end of the day, it was the Nano Boost Soldier 76 combo that came in to confirm the payload for the side of the Blue Devils. And now literally we are on the final stretch, trying to get all 3 points here for the Blue Devils, as now they make their final push.
Jan, Renegade, both with ultimate, both find nothing on the end. Little bit of damage there from Big Falapa with the grenade. Tagging up this ball as they go out. X-Man kills the closest player with ultimate, or 2 ultimate that doesn't actually have it. Pyro now here for the spin, shots, and the grenade, but Big Falapa may be channeling their inner headhunter. Who knows? There's a full stop from the Sheehan Titans for the first time, and I don't even know.
Well, now you can see the Mercy pick trying to make their way back into the mix here.
I like this.
We'll
like
be going up high. And here comes Alucard on Genji. Okay, now that's interesting. Let's see what they can do. As meanwhile, you also see Renegade switching to the Hanzo. And it will be the Ninja to try and make a difference here on this final push.
Not against it. Big Floppa here now just trying to keep these players sectioned off, mostly for zoning right there. It works, but Pyro gets aggressive after that and then falls. That's 1, and now 2, 4 members of the Titans done. Nope, that's a team kill. The Blue Devils should be able to get to this one all the way in. It happens in overtime. That's going to be enough off the back of a Renegade's Dragon right down spawn door.
It was just so interesting to me that throughout the entire match, you know, we're seeing a pretty definitive DPS composition coming from the Blue Devils, and then literally in that last push, they decided to switch to Genji and Hanzo. Clearly, it was the right call because it worked. They managed to get the payload all the way to 3 points, but it's still just in those last couple of seconds. I wonder what the deciding factor was to switch to those 2 completely different DPS characters than what they had been using before.
30% is your maximum reward on ultimate upon switch. Gotta say, one of my favorite changes about Overwatch 2 in general. They take that, go forth. Renegade would not have that Dragon Strike, that Hanzo ultimate, go down and section off. I believe that was Big Floppa on the other side who switch onto the Tracer. They would have been able to touch.
Well, here we go. It is now going to be the other way round. It is going to be the Blue Devils on the defense this time around, if I'm not mistaken. And it is going to be the Titans going to try and take their turn on the offensive side of the payload. Meanwhile, look at this. You see Jan coming out with the Widowmaker. Not a bad way to start things off. Going up top, going up high from the Chaplain, of course, getting those dings on the headshot, on the headshots. It's definitely the right way you want to start things off. But are they going to be held solid, much like we saw the Blue Devils do to the Titans? Let's see. This is going to be the hardest point. And already, Renegade able to put them down quick, fast, and in a hurry. What a shot.
Talk about the timing. Crazy stuff right there from Renegade. And what a way to start off a game. Obviously, your ult charge is lessened the first, I think, 15 or 20 seconds of the game or so. So, you know, normally that headshot provide a lot more, but still, don't matter. X-Man kills now up 50% to ultimate right now, Captain.
Yeah, now we got some Reinhardt on Reinhardt action, as you can see. It will be the Titans here, getting ready to make their way through, trying to find themselves on the point, and doing a pretty good job at pushing back the Blue Devils. And some really good pocket healing, and you can see, look at Ana all the way off and out of the danger, being able to get a lot of these heals in from afar without risking any damage to themselves. But you gotta ask, are they gonna be able to successfully use the anti-nade from that far, as now the Earth Shatter comes out as well?
That's gonna be a crazy push right here. X-Man kills, falls through the thick of things, but Jan, a huge source of damage for the Titans, gonna be negated out as well. I gotta say, the Blue Devils are looking stout on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, the Blue Devils are looking pretty good. But with that being said, you can see the Titans, they are managing to find the point pretty quickly, and they're able to make a little bit of that progress. All the while, you do see X-Man Kills getting back into the action, and again, just being that absolute nuisance that we're used to seeing them be. And now here comes the Mercy with the pocket heals, and finally, X-Man Kills goes down. Renegade from up on high, now switching to the Fire Pick, is going to be raining down damage, but the snowball goes out, the blizzard freezes, and all of a sudden, we have a reversal, a retake, and a counter coming from the Titans.
Here's a sleep. Oh, the block on the sleep. Alucard finds not one, not two, but three, like he's finding lint in the pocket here, Captain. The stop comes, 2 minutes to go. Sheehan gets 40% for their efforts and nothing else.
Yeah, my bad. I got confused. It was the Blue Devils. I got them confused.
Yeah, it happens.
There was a lot going on then and there. It was.
Well, they're like the red squad, but like Huntington is like the blue logo.
Yeah,
and stuff
because
like
you
that.
see the blue
I did that
names
earlier.
on the red teams, and then you got the red team with the blue, and also it doesn't help that I'm partially colorblind. You know, it's just a lot. Meanwhile, I know for a fact there's Riptire is coming from Jan of the Titans as they look to get some eliminations, and they will find two, able to take out the Anti-Nade and able to take out the Genji.
Oh, res, but immediately right there, and the stick is actually gonna hit, but these players kept alive by the duo healing efforts. Crazy stuff. Here comes the nano boost. X-Man Kills, able to be kept alive right there. Oh no, he's just got quartered out. That's gonna be a little bit though. Trap done, BB falls, Blue Devils on the defense, trying to find a way back on into this one as Big Floppa falls as well. Pyro, Jan, both finding one themselves. This first point is over. Titans have done it.
That they have, and they did it with time to spare that time around. They got a little bit more for their bargain than what we saw with the Blue Devils. Remember, the Blue Devils on checkpoint 1 literally expended all of their time, had to go in the OT just to secure, but they managed to get it to 3. Now with a little bit more time in their pocket, let's see if the Titans can replicate the success seen from the Blue Devils as they are already beginning to push that payload forward.
There's basically 3 different parts of this second map. That first is what we just saw right here on this. Oh, the sneakiness! Renegade takes out all death from above as Big Floppa responds just a little bit too late. I was wondering, like, hey, like, what are these guys doing? What are they doing here? Renegade tells me what time it is. Simply being sneaky. This is such a tough point to get across. This chokehold under bridge, generally so hard, but if this defense can hold strong right here, this will progress back all the way under it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Alucard on this Genji pick doing a ton of work, even on that first checkpoint now here in the mid. And look at this Sigma now coming out for the side of the Titans. No, I'm sorry, on the side of the Blue Devils. And this is going to be an interesting pick. I haven't seen Sigma out in a hot minute. So again, bringing them out now, a little questionable, especially since they were just eliminated.
Huh, okay, so Titans, solid stop. Or yeah, solid win right here, should say. Continue on their progression. They're just blazing through what is generally a much harder part of the map to get through.
Again, having all that extra time in your pocket is really just going to bode well for when you make that final push, the final stretch. Meanwhile, the defense is back from the Blue Devils. Sigma out in front, trying to get rid of this Reinhardt. Pyro has just been, honestly, the biggest problem for the Blue Devils, but Alucard also on this Genji pick has been just as much as a problem for the Titans. No. But they do get pinned. Not going to be enough to eliminate, but now, finally, Alucard does get put down, and it will be Mr. Billy on the Moira to come through and deal a ton of damage with the ult and secure the payload for the Blue Devils. Or, I'm sorry, for the Titans, rather.
Wowzers, okay, so the Moira pick, right? You get a nano boost, right? You get a Genji screaming their ultimate. You kind of assume where those kills are going to come from. You don't assume they're going to come from a Mr. Billy coalescence. Just like that, Renegade finds another cheeky headshot early, getting so much closer to their ultimate. And there's not really going to be any answer on the other side for these dragons if, like, say, X-Man Kills can get their ultimate going at the same time on the reposition.
Well, let's see if Renegade off the Pharah now and back onto the Hanzo. Let's see if they can actually find a couple of head dings themselves, laying on the damage, and still does have their ultimate there and waiting. And now trying to lay down the damage. As
Dragon, there it is.
Out comes the ult!
Oh no, they get... Okay, sorry, they get partially saved right there from the X-Man kills. I'm not sure if this was actually the time for the Sigma ultimate, for the Gravitic Flux. Like, just based on, how that tunnel is shaped, I think the dragons would have been enough to kill everything. And that's just kind of a bad, like, awareness, I guess, for the side of the Titans, knowing that those dragons are definitely going to be up.
And now here comes the push yet again from the Titans as they have the Nano Boost on the Rhine. Pyro now going to be going in, swinging, landing multiple hits, now looking to confirm yet another elimination. And now not only that, but also the Tactical Visor comes out as well. That is another double ult that seems like it could have been used if timed a little bit better. That one felt like it did go down and by the wayside, but still the push from the Titans cannot be denied, as now they are only a few feet away from being able to get the 3 points here in game 2.
There's ultimates as well. Titans have a lot more ultimates to work with right now as the offense does come in super low. That's the Sigma taken out. Alucard as well as BB now switches on over. Gonna have the... Okay, so actually going over here doesn't matter. Maybe if they'd gone off to Lucio initially, who knows? That's kind of theory crafting at this point. What I do know is the Titans have a significant more time on King's Row. They'll be on defense first.
Yeah, I mean, it's 24 seconds, you know, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely could make a big difference.
It's not all day, but...
It's not all day, but yeah, that extra 24 seconds is still, you know, you can give them a second and they'll make a minute out of it. We've already seen the overtime stretch to the lengths of which we honestly did not think. And now, as we get ready to head into extra rounds, we will see who will be able to take advantage of the time that was given to them and try and come out with a win here on King's Row. Keep in mind, the Blue Devils currently have that 1-0 lead in the series, and they look to extend it here on King's Row as well.
So coming in, advantage Titans, but down in the series, they take this one. We will be guaranteed a 4-map run. Love to see it. Love to see it. Taking a look. The compositions here, Captain. I love the defensive May. Obviously, walling off this first choke point always going to be a big deal. Nothing really changing actually too much right here. The Annas have been keeping both of these teams alive, like in every way, shape, and form so far.
Yeah, no lies detected, to be completely honest. That sounds about right to me. Meanwhile, look at this. We see Alucard going to be making a switch here, and this is definitely a character I've been keeping my eyes on more and more. That Sojourn has been absolutely making a name for themselves in the meta, at least in rank play and also in competitive as well. And I gotta tell you, I'm actually a fan of the Sojourn pick here, coming from the Blue Devils. As you can see already, X-Man kills making their way onto the point, causing a disturbance. Ana from up on high, able to deal out a little bit of damage, and now out comes Renegade again on this Pharah pick.
I love the Pharah pick. Only big problem on their side is going to be that Cassidy, of course. A lot of attention given these Titans healers as of right now. Titans holding strong on defense so far. No mercy in the pocket means Rogue Slayer is going to have a long walk back from spawn right here. Big Floppa finding a little bit of problems actually trying to get this mercy. That redirect is constantly getting there. The reload not going to be enough. Brutal. Alucard gets rezzed up. In the thick of things is BB really kind of showing off positional awareness.
Yeah, when you're trying to pin down that mercy, that's when you need characters like Soldier 76, like Sojourn. Yep. Trying to ding those clicks with the Cassidy pick is definitely a lot easier said than done, especially when you have a character that is as mobile as Mercy. So no surprise there that they managed to take this first objective and now are in overtime. Let's see what type of run they can make with just this 1 meter of OT remaining.
Definitely agreed. The Guardian Angel changes there from Mercy have come in. It's a 2.5 second cooldown now, but doesn't necessarily change when you still have that super bounce involved, especially in a vertical map like King's Row. X-Man Kills is right now purchasing, maybe giving up a little bit of ultimate charge, but purchasing a lot of space right now for their squad. Almost a full glowing team for the Blue Devils. Alucard the only one without until the minefield come out. Renegade gets hit with the sleep, and a counter shatter right here is going to be able to keep the Titans push alive. A lot of Blue Devils falling, but actually the Titans come off of... No, excuse me, the Blue Devils are on offense.
It is confusing. Like, honestly, I can't even count on both hands how many times I mixed these teams up already. But regardless, that is going to be a 1-point game in the favor of the Blue Devils here in extra time. Now it's going to be the Titans' turn to try and get it done on offense to see if they can get past those 2 checkpoints. But keep in mind, they only have 24 extra seconds, and they still have to get past the hardest part of Kings Row, which is checkpoint 1. So what composition are they going to bring in the offense? Are they going to stick to their guns, or are they gonna try and change things up? We've already seen Big Floppa do all the work that they can with the Cassidy. They're gonna stick to it, and it looks as though the only real difference here is that Jan is going to be coming out with Soldier 76.
Yeah, I like the Big Floppa's Widow pick initially. Just don't let Renegade take you out again. That'd be much harder on the Junkrat anyway. X-Man kills, abandoning the ball, going on over to Ramatra. It purchased them a lot of wiggle room on the earlier map, and so I'm not against this one whatsoever.
I'll be honest, I'm looking a little sideways right now at that Torbjorn. I mean, I don't know.
If the goal is to hold on to first point, that turret's not going to hurt.
But I feel like if you're going to go for turrets, you got to go Sentry. Sentry, right, especially on this chokehold, I think is just a little bit better with the Symmetra pick. Like, if you get the Sentries with Symmetra, I just think it does a little bit more than what Torbjorn would do, especially on this chokehold.
Sentries and teleports, never going to be a bad thing, even if it's on the defensive side, especially when you have an Ana just like that is really, really making up your team composition so much that allows them to get back right here. Stick, the blue man, or X-Man, is going to be all right. There's the block up, everything getting negated through there. So that was a lot of cooldowns the Titans just invested across this middle for no advantage whatsoever. Renegade falls, Jan funds. This one as the Titans get a little bit closer to taking this. Alucard's turret as well has really not gotten a whole lot of anything going, and then Alucard themselves just fall. X-Man Kill is able to keep things alive through here, but the Blue Devils fall left, right, and center. Sheehan Titan's going to be able to take this for probably about 10 seconds afterwards as well.
Yeah, so again, a fantastic showing coming from the side of the Titans, being able to take control of the payload rather quickly, and they do have a little bit of time to spare, as yes, it will be confirmed, the payload will come out, and they have just about 10 seconds extra to try and push this one as far as they can to try and confirm their victory here in extra minutes on Kings Row.
Taking a look at the Blue Devils, they have the Dragons, they have the Ramatra ultimate. Both of these are very much zoning ultimates and take over space. If they're able to get this one covered, now they're in overtime, that might be game for Kings Row map in the second. Here comes the Ramatra ultimate, that's deadly! There's punches, there's the nano boost, there's a lot more, and there's a lot of missed shots. The Cassidy able to be kept alive right there, at least for a while. Jan, still up. No reason to leave. A lot of Blue Devils offense on the other side. I absolutely love that Nano boost and onto the Ramatra as well.
Don't get me wrong, I liked it as well, but I feel like when you're going to nano boost the Remy, that's what I like to call them, by the way, BB, I think would have been a good safe pick, sticking with the Mercy. If you could pocket heal that Ramatra while nano boosted, while in Nemesis form, they would have been 9 unstoppable. But unfortunately, eventually, that Ramatra, the Remy, did fall, and it will be the Titans to rise as they come through with an impressive win here on Kings Row.
Yeah, an impressive win indeed. This is those Dragons over on the left side. I don't want to be too negative here, so I want to preface this a little bit. Don't want to be too negative here, but when you're playing the Ramatra, especially up close and personal, especially once you go into the punching form, and especially with Ultimate, especially once you get nano boosted, you can simply not afford to miss. I think that was about 4 punches in a row. Yes, the Cassidy on the other side had the combat roll to get on out here, but when Jan has ultimate and that high noon came forth to provide such ability after that, that this was a, okay, we're stopping you type situation. You missed 4 of those in a row. I mean, one maybe, that's, what is it, like a forgivable, excusable, or whatever else like this. But 4 in a row right now, now you're just talking about lost DPS on the other players, and especially given that like every support ultimate in the game is going down right there, just going to be tough. Just going to be real tough. Anything else before we go to a short break, Captain?
Honestly, no. Trust me, far be it from me to give critique on anything, but I will say that I have been pleasantly surprised. Some picks that I didn't think were going to work ended up working. Some picks that I thought would, some picks, you know, I was right. Let's just say I was right sometimes, I was wrong sometimes, but when it came to these team names, I was wrong all the time. So again, it's nice to be pleasantly surprised, and I got to tell you, it was a great game regardless on Kings Row, and that's how I expected it to go, and a huge GG's coming from the Titans as they managed to tie things up in the series. So this is going to be a close game no matter which way you cut it, and I cannot wait to see how we continue on right after this short break.
is they want to do, what it is they don't want to let their opponents redo. FBI Tugboat here with Captain Atsoka.
Hello. Cannot wait to get things going here on Colosseo, which has been probably the most debated map and game mode in recent Overwatch competitive history. Again, a lot of different thoughts and opinions on this one. But most of them have been negative. But maybe as we continue to play on Colosseo, you know, with the robot, maybe we can, you know, start to have a better opinion of it.
I am hopeful. I'm ever a positive person, you know. Colosseo here. Push, I just think, is a little bit of... controversial is the wrong word, because people didn't really like 2CP so much. But you know what? Speaking of opinions, Captain, let's go ahead and bring on in our desk analyst. Yes, that is Adam Emancipator. Adam, you with us? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. As Colosseo's obviously going to be one of those weird maps. As a flank DPS, I love it. As a support, I hate it. It's mixed feelings with it. It's either hit or miss. It's such a tempo-heavy map that if you just can't disable those forward spawns and regain that map control, you're pretty destined to lose.
Indeed. Appreciate you, Adam. We will be hopping back on in, and Adam will have a much longer point and a little bit of analytical breakdown after this Huntington High School and Mark T. Sheehan High School map here. This is not where we're going to be ending either, Captain. We're guaranteed a fourth map.
Yep, that we are. But meanwhile, let's get this Game 3 underway between Huntington High and Mark T. Sheehan High School, as the Blue Devils once again will be taking on the Titans. And let's take a look at this composition. Very interesting. Now the Lucio decides to make an appearance. Okay, now that we have a little bit more of a long jaded map here, and we need to push the robot from such a long distance, now we decide we want a speed boost. Okay, Blue Devils, I see you, and I'm not mad at it at all. I wish the Lucio may have come out a little bit earlier, but let's see if they are able to make an impact now. And also BB on this Symmetra. Love it. I love Symmetra so much. So yeah, you know what? I'm liking the composition from the Blue Devils a little bit more than that of the Titans so far.
X-Man kills, comes in and gets a third of an ultimate immediately. Alucard falls immediately afterwards, though. Not ideal for the Blue Devils. They're trying to push onto this one on board the big Floppa. A lot of damage, a lot of attention now here. BB has got their target in mind, trying to melt down this Ramatra on the other side here. Definitely get it, not utilizing these turrets either, the sentry turrets. Yeah, so BB is going to fall for their aggression on this one. Rez is going to come through. Rogue Slayer always there. Nasty purple. Nicely done. X-Man kills, comes in, pops this Mercy up, and everybody can have a shot at them.
Okay, so what I'm seeing now is that Wrecking Ball is 100% meta. Is that the evidence that I think I'm gathering here? Because right now, X-Man Kills has been able to come through on the Wrecking Ball in multiple game modes, and now is able to make it even that much more viable here on Push. And I cannot be more devastated.
I think the idea is that X-Man Kills just consistently kind of goes up, negates out any sort of shielding, any sort of like real defensive hold that the tank on the other side can get. And the amount of irritation right there is never going to be bad. Mr. Billy actually opts to pull out of that one, go into the dash over on the back, and actually didn't really get with the rest. So Jan actually finding Crumbly right now. Now BB, nicely done. That's about everything that you can ask for from a single ultimate right now. Kind of getting harassed by the Tracer on the other side, but getting pocketed all day long. There is Jan, nasty stick.
Yep, now here comes Remy, trying to cause a little bit of a ruckus. Meanwhile, X-Man Kills still very much alive and well as they find their way back around. Still has the minefield as an option. But finally, you do see the Titans start to answer back, and now the push is no longer underway for the Blue Devils. Finally, we see the robot heading the other way.
Have you ever seen a Cassidy act that scared of a single Lucio before?
Yes,
I don't think I ever
me.
have. Hey-oh, there you go. The people shall fear me, Captain Atsoka says. a glowing Huntington High School Blue Devil squad right now. Everybody with ultimate except for Alucard. Here comes the minefield as X-Man Kill is going to be sectioning off a lot of yardage right there. Now getting aggressive over middle. Can't quite get back to the team right here. Even with BB's Matra wall up, this is going to be the Titans pushing on a little bit.
I'm telling you, Remy, who I'm going to continue to refer to Ramatra as, is
like
just so dangerous when you have a pocket healer, especially Mercy. Because you got to keep in mind, Remy is just going absolutely bananas. They like to go up and get in people's faces. You know, they like to deliver the fisticuffs, but at the same time, they can drop back and hit you with a bunch of biddies as well. So you have got to watch out for those little bits that come out of the staff. So it's really a little bit diverse tank when you look at them. Not as mobile, of course, as someone like Wrecking Ball, but still enough to where you can successfully pocket heal them.
Yeah, so Yan is just absolutely popping off right now. And I gotta say, Crumbly is picking some unique positioning. Is that how you turn a negative into a neutral right there? Unique positioning there for Crumbly. Super aggressive, and early is Yan. Almost gets taken out for the attempt right here. The sound barrier on board as Yan can't quite slide back with the rest of the team here. Alucard locking a lot away right now. That's not going to be enough, and the high noon is wasted.
And how many times have we seen that today from, I love it when you call me Big Floppa, unfortunately not being able to really take control with the high noon ult. We haven't really, I don't recall seeing it land once, to be completely honest with you, Tugboat. So I'm wondering if maybe they should try and switch things up on the DPS.
It is such a tough ultimate to get value out of, and there's so much more used for zoning now, but you're 100% right. We have seen like a lot of, the simple fact that we've seen so many like attempts on the flank as well is really going to be why I'm just like so surprised that none of these have hit. You have a really good point, Captain.
And you see, because it's not like, you know, other ultimates like Pharah's where they can just call it immediately, especially off of that deep flank, like we've seen Big Floppa try and do time and time again. It takes a while to get it ready in order to execute. So I'm starting to become a little bit curious as to what other options Big Floppa has as far as DPS. But in the meantime, you can see the Blue Devils the Titans nearly being able to get it to that second checkpoint. But no, it will be the Blue Devils to come in and stop it. But hold the phone, another retake going the way of the Titans will get that forward spawn activated.
Yeah, that's so crucial, especially now for the respawns coming in from the Titans. The bad news is those both support ultimates used right here. That's a fat purple, a big fat purple. Rogue Slayer barely gets out of it. Is now getting a lot of love here from Mr. Billy. Same spot, both supports fall. Healing core for the Titans go down. We know how that one's going to go afterwards. Pyro realizes it. Just kind of drops early. And the Blue Devils only have Crumbly that is not glowing with ultimates. X-Man Kills be there in a second.
Yeah, but now for the first time in what feels like a long time, the robot will be heading in the other direction, but they will run smack dab into the Titans on the way. Meanwhile, X-Men Kills wasting no time whatsoever to meet them, and they do have 4 ultimates at their disposal. They should be able to make an impressive push here, and out comes the Genji ult as well as the minefield, and they should be able to push this robot even further.
Okay, so what? 3 players drop it. The Symmetra, well, you know, it's not bad, but Crumbly's ultimate, this Kiriko ultimate that's Kitsune Rush, is only so good by itself. Honestly, the Blue Devils made the same mistake that the Titans did earlier with just dropping way more ultimates than they needed to.
Oh, well, speaking of, how about another ultimate for you? Meanwhile, also, you see Big Floppa coming out again with the high noon, and I don't think it landed again.
Wow, so what that means, of course, the BB Symmetra wall had more of an offensive opportunity than even a Harnoon did. The microwave is on here, folks. Almost. Oh, what a shot! Okay, I hate Symmetra with every fiber of my being, but that was a really, really good shot.
I love Symmetra. But Symmetra is, again, one of those DPSs that, you know, you kind of sleep on. You think, wow, they really shouldn't be that powerful, but they are, especially with the sentry turrets, which is exactly why when it comes to trying to have those stationary turrets, I'd rather have a Symmetra on my side than a Torbjorn. But meanwhile, Pyro trying to force their way in with the Ramatra is denied. They do get slept, and now here comes crumbly on the Kiriko as they will be put down next. But hold the phone, here comes BB as they will be eliminated as well. And now we're seeing a huge resurgence coming from the Titans.
Isn't that like... oh boy, their mantra, right? Literally gets their ultimate, gets so much value from it, even with it ended. Pyro, because it's so long, they have the cooldown back on the punch mode, and now 22% ultimate for Pyro, already a quarter of the way back to ultimate. I'm just looking for a situation where you look at this kit and say, oh yeah, that's fair and balanced. I don't know. Mr. Billy coalescence out. Jan still got that one on the back foot as well. The Symmetra still just providing like that forward in the side type situation. I'm looking for a Wayne edgewise. The Sojourn on Symmetra. We know which way that goes usually. And that Symmetra BB is not able to get out the rest.
Yeah, well, I gotta give it to Jan. They definitely are laying down a lot of damage right now, all the while avoiding the damage, being able to take out Clover with a great shot there from the railgun. And now we can see the robot heading back into the favor of the Titans. And this is pretty neck and neck so far. We did see the objective, I think you would call that, push back all the way to that second, to the first checkpoint, as they try and now push that back across the bridge. And this bridge is definitely one of the hardest positions to get the robot past, just because there's so many avenues to take when you're on the defensive side.
Just
and yet another high noon.
I just want one high noon
the
kill.
Magnet Nade actually was able to get an elimination before the high noon did.
Alucard is one. Alucard is like actually one right now. You won't pull Blade. You won't pull. Okay, all right. They won't pull Blade because that's not the smart thing to do. I was just baiting.
Yeah, please don't pull. If they would have pulled the Blade, then that you're getting benched next game.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, a strong gust of wind would have taken them out at that point. It was just, I'm feeding into the classic DPS stereotype, or that they say the DPS are like. I guess I should say. Alucard looking for a little bit of flank, but BB falls yet again into the same character. Jan still got that ultimate up. That's enough for a 1, 2, 3. There goes the Alucard Blade. That's a lot on top. But Alucard gets down to literal 1 on the other side, and it's just a Ramatra ultimate that keeps their team alive. Who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed it?
I got to tell you, that was a big win coming from the Titans, because for a moment there, it looked as though the Blue Devils were going to run away with it, but no, the Titans come in a spectacular fashion, and yes, have got to give it to this Sojourn pick from Jan, getting this huge 4-piece here at the end with the ult. Look at these shots from the railgun, all of them hitting their marks, all of them hitting their targets, and not only that, but they managed to fend off this Genji Blade in the process. Huge dubs coming from Jan on the Sojourn.
Yeah, huge stuff right there. Gotta say that the Sojourn play right there, and I don't want to be like, I don't know, I feel like I'm being too negative today, but I think that right there kind of like encapsulates why push may not be the best, because all of this entire like 10-minute team fight comes all the way down to basically Jan just popping off on a single ultimate. Like all of this fighting, all this back and forth right here. But hey, that is Overwatch for you. We have an analyst to come on in and hopefully give you guys some better takes than the crap spouting out of my mouth. Adam is with us. Adam Emancipator, you hear us? You with us?
Yep, I am. So, Push is one of those maps where if you don't look at that timer at the top, you realize it's over like that. In those crazy immense team fights, it's just sometimes you have to take those risks too, and just ult second, even if it's to hopefully regain tempo. But obviously Push, very controversial, not fun if you're losing, not really fun if you just get Sojourn ulted at the game, but that's not really Push's fault. But they did do a very good job of keeping that pushing back and forth, I could say. It's just so tempo heavy that keeping that robot pushing back and forth is one of the best things you can do.
Yeah, just like a constant back and forth right there. We're looking at Circuit Royale next, and we'll check in with Adam. A little more analysis action for you guys after this map. Will it be the last? Will the Sheehan Titans take it in 4? You guys gotta wait to find out here.
Alrighty, well, this one is not for all the marbles, but still it is going to be series point in the favor of the Titans. As we can see, they are going to be bringing out a interesting composition here. Big Floppa switching to the Farah, and you know what? I'm all here for it. I'm digging it. Let's give Cassidy a rest here, and then not only that, but Jan, who popped off with the Sojourn, is coming out on the Widowmaker and already finds a head click on Alucard.
The offense has no mercy, doesn't need it. Alucard will be back in just a couple of seconds right here. I honestly do like the Bastion here. It is interesting. I love how Overwatch is now, where there's not just like one definitive meta. Obviously, we're kind of working through some of these reworks on some of the players, some of the heroes, I should say, and so people are still kind of figuring that one out. Jan, oh no, just gets mugged in the back right here. Now trying to stay alive, does get back, but Big Floppa is still here, and Big Floppa is still dangerous. Wow, until they get grounded. The anti-aircraft there from Alucard finds a Mercy on the other side as well, so not even gonna get the res here.
One of my favorite things about this map is that the payload is a Formula 1 car.
You know what, I don't think I ever really noticed that.
Yeah, I love it. I think it is so much...
Hovercraft?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, that's still definitely a Formula 1 design right there. Regardless, it is going to be the Blue Devils trying to come through and stop this payload in its tracks. All the while, the Titans are riding a wave of momentum after getting that last round win there on Colosseo. Meanwhile, Jan trying to get some more head clicks done with the Widowmaker. Is able to get some damage done and will put Clover down and out. All the while, Wrecking Ball X-Man kills. Does cause a little bit of a disturbance for Jan, but that's not going to stop them from getting these clicks, nearly being able to confirm as X-Men kills just kind of killed themselves.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this Pharah isn't going to get ultimate charge from pulling their ultimate, or yeah, isn't going to get charge after Barrage is done, but still, you know, it makes sense. The X-Men kills knows that they're not going to be able to stay alive with no support on their side. Back to it. Gotta say, this offensive is really not taking this one too far. 2 minutes to go, and a lot of that chronological resource been wasted. Blue Devils on their offense so far. Sheehan Titans on the back foot right here. X-Men kills always playing a kind of disrupting role. Mines in hand as well. This would not be a bad place to put them. Now a lot of attention onto Jan right here as the Widowmaker walls do come down.
Yeah, now it's pretty much in scrambles right now, but hold the phone, that Bastion ult should cause a little bit of a ruckus, but unfortunately for BB, they get taken out very quickly. And Jan, on this Widowmaker, having themselves a field day, nearly being able to take out X-Man kills again. But they do what they do best, and they roll away. Now getting back into the mix, you can see the shots and the clicks are landing, but Yana does get gunned down by the railgun from Alucard. And now here comes the nano boost, and I do believe the ult has been activated as well. The railguns are dealing a lot of damage as they nearly are able to confirm the kill on Pyro, but that pocket heal from the Mercy keeps them up and in the fight.
Even with Pocket, even with Ultimate, it is a bold move to try and push an Orisa and Overwatch 2 with all of their abilities, added armor and everything else, at least initially. Clover falling, Rogueslayer done, both teams now without a huge part of their healing core. The back and forth we go, BB onto the Symmetra. I do like it for this positioning right here. Kitsune Rush doesn't keep Crumbly alive, unfortunately, and Big Floppa tries something. Everybody just turns their attention to the skies, and that's going to be first point. A little bit extra time for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, well, now they get the forward spawn, so again, now some great offense coming out early for the Blue Devils. They do have a little bit of extra time to work with here, and their composition proving off pretty successful, although I will say that Crumbly there with the Kitsune was pretty risque, but it managed to pay off. You know, they did manage to get the payload there to the second checkpoint, so kudos to them. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Titans, and they have 2 ults in their pocket as well. You can see, once again, you love it when you call me Big Floppa. Does get gunned down, not being able to call in the ultimate, but now Mr. Billy is able to call in theirs, and also the Riptire comes out looking for a target and finds 2.
Jan right there just running him down. Okay, I love when especially given like the character of Junkrat, like just like an impulsive, really chaotic character. I love when they're able. This should not find anything. Okay, yeah, Pyro and Mr. Billy by themselves. This is a lost team fight, especially when Pyro just decides to charge across an open minefield. Okay, but what I was saying, finishing the point, I love when Junkrats are able to kind of like what is called trigger discipline, right? Like in COD or Halo or something like this, like waiting for the optimal time to strike.
Oh yeah, and that is also big in Valorant too, which we do here at the EGFH and the EGFC. Gotta have that trigger discipline, and it doesn't make me hate Junkrat any less. But regardless, it is commendable.
11?
To say the least.
Sorry.
Hey, Big Floppo, I gotta tell you, definitely, I think making a lot more waves here on this Flower pick, and I think this was a pretty smart change.
Yeah, eventually I feel like the Blue Devils have to just kind of like dedicate a player here. I mean, if you get a Kuriko headshot, then Alucard's job is made so much easier, but Alucard just has so many different targets to try and get something going right here. The Yan Reaper I'm all about as well. Don't believe we've seen a Reaper pick thus far. No, that gets nothing done on the other side. Suzu keeps the squad alive. Now it's Alucard's time to feed.
Yep, and here comes Alucard. We already know what type of damage they can deal in the DPS role, but they will be gunned down as the Sojourn. Meanwhile, the payload continues to push as the Titans are coming up on yet another forward spawn as they look to get checkpoint number 2. And it looks like they're going to be able to get it here, but hold the phone. Here comes the push again, coming from the Titans to try and stop the Blue Devils in their tracks as the Death Blossom does manage to get one, but nothing more.
That's a flower after Valentine's Day, but they're not going to like it. Big Floppa just ends this one. Or excuse me, Jan just ends this one. One of those two DPS over there for them Titans, right? That's not really super far right here, you know? Only one time boost added on the offensive side. The Titans just made this so much easier for themselves, Captain.
Yeah, that they did, and they came up with a huge stop too right before the forward spawn was activated. So it kind of hurts when you're looking at it from the perspective of the Blue Devils, because you are literally not even a foot away, mere inches from getting that second point confirmed. But all for naught, they're going to have to settle for one as we get ready to see the Titans take a turn on the offensive side. And honestly, I'm interested to see on what Jan is going to bring, because we have seen Jan pop off with multiple different heroes in the DPS position, but they're going to come out with the Sojourn, and we already remember how much of a ruckus they were able to stir on Colosseo. Let's see if they can replicate it here as we get ready to get this second round underway for the Titans.
Yeah, so taking a look, not against, so Big Floppa, the Cassidy's in general, I've not really found payload thus far, but given the big like burst damage capabilities, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, when paired with a Sojourn, especially a Sojourn like Jan, that I am about. See how this Titans offense does fare, staring down the barrel of an Ashe for the first time. I like that too. Actually, honestly, I like that Ashe Sojourn pick more than the Cassidy Sojourn pick.
I can't help but agree. We can only remember what Big Bob can do, especially in payload games. I'm sorry, when you got the payload moving, or if you're trying to stop the payload, Big Bob definitely makes some big waves. Meanwhile, you can see BB already raining down some clicks here with the Ashe, but they do sustain a good amount of damage, and already, you love it when you call me Big Floppa, is gunned down.
Wow, a couple of headshots, a couple of dinks right there. Pyro is playing the Orisa perfectly, honestly. It might look like hyper-aggressive, but they're just timing their cooldowns absolutely perfectly. And now, I mean, every time that they dip over to the side right here, everybody's paying attention to them immediately, and the Blue Devils on the back foot. They lose Alucard, which is just such a huge source of damage. BB, once again, has been forced to play like half of this game right now at like a 20 health line from the back line as well. There's the res, Mr. Billy back, Big Floppa falls, Jan taking a snooze up top. And nobody answers them. Okay, interesting stuff. If you look at a plethora of Huntington Blue Devils, they could have gone up there and taken out Snooze and Sojourn, and now Jan is let to reign supreme. Gotta say, that was a mistake.
Yep, now the ultimate's coming out from the side of the Titans as they continue to push this Blue Devil defense back, and they managed to get not one, not two, but 3 of eliminations there. 3 huge eliminations as they already find themselves on the forward spawn.
The payload has reached the
That is free real estate. Almost 5 minutes right here, Captain. That is crazy.
Yep, they are showing that they are in fact the Titans, the mighty Titans, is now the Orisa is leading the way. Keep in mind, we did see Pyro last round in this exact scenario run through a minefield that was laid down by X-Man Kills, but X-Man not on the wrecking ball this time round, no minefields, and now Alucard having themselves a field day with the railgun, being able to get 3 eliminations before they have finally gunned down by their doppelganger in Yan.
Wow, yeah, just feed Alucard. Perhaps that's the idea here. BB not saying anything bad about them whatsoever, and they've been playing that Ashe and the positioning perfectly thus far. Maybe actually like a little bit more like vertical for BB, not 100% sure. See how this goes, because this is just a perfect geological setup for a player like this Ashe. Big Floppa takes a purple and some burn damage on the other side. I thought that Big Floppa was just going to be let over like a 6-second period to fall right there. Bob comes out, a lot of attention onto this Pyro Orisa, but Rogue Slayer falls in the thick of things. Another high noon, another wasted ultimate. Man, oh man.
Yep, it is a feels bad, but meanwhile, you do see X-Man Kills able to keep the offense of the Titans at bay, at least for the time being. They throw up yet another shield. They do have the Nemesis form and their ultimate waiting. Meanwhile, Mr. Billy does pop their ult, able to cause a little bit of a ruckus, being able to get the 2-piece. And now, once again, the payload will be moving forward all the while. I love it when you call me Big Floppa is going to be trying to get a flank, but they get picked out very quickly.
Honestly, a Pharaoh on the other side. Well, no, actually, not against an Ashe and a Sojourn and whatnot. Alucard, once again, gonna be the first to fall. Mr. Billy is playing the perfect, like, kind of middle ground between nice pull, the Mercy, it does not get away. Pyro setting fire to Crumbly right there. They're not gonna have that Mercy ultimate either on this. Now here it comes. Ramacha ultimate doing a good job of holding that back until Pyro takes a nasty purple right here. Yan does have ultimate up, but all shall fall before Ramatra.
You know what? You're absolutely right, but I got to give credit where credit is due. You seen who was involved in that one, and that was Ana with the anti-nade in order to confirm the elimination on the Orisa. Meanwhile, you have Crumbly on the Mercy trying to keep this payload out of the second checkpoint. They managed to get it to a standstill and finally are able to back off the Blue Devils, at least momentarily. You can see the Orisa now back into the mix.
Look at those two tanks just literally like sitting like butt to butt but not paying attention to each other whatsoever. Big Floppa! That's gonna be a fat one as X-Man Kills has lived longer than any tank should onto this map. BB falls in the backline without any support ultimates. There's gonna be the Coalescence, and the Titans have done it in 4. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Yep, that they have. There will be no Game 5. The Titans will come through here in Game 4, and will take the win over the Huntington High Blue Devils in spectacular fashion, and none other than Mr. Billy with your play of the game.
Unsurprised. Unsurprised. Obviously, this doesn't happen by themselves. This Orisa ultimate right here does come forth, provide a lot of that initial chunk damage right here, but it's all the Coalescence all the time on the end. As it is, we are blessed with another big brain breakdown here. Adam Emancipator, you with us, sir?
I still am.
There you go. Let's hear the breakdown, the analysis of why what just happened.
Moira. It's all in the Moira somehow. Somehow they make the Moira work. It's weird how you hate it when the DPS Moira is on your team, but they somehow make it good, and now I'm starting to wish they were on my team. It would have been so helpful in placements.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as you saw, the Blue Devils had to take that 1 step back for the 2 steps forward, especially in those ults, letting them cap that first point just to come back and just hold them at the second. Basically how payload goes. 1 step forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward.
think that might have been kind of like indicative of what you were talking earlier about, like the push, right? Like the ebb and flow, the give and go right there.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with you. The Titans really just kind of learned their positioning, waited for cooldowns, ultimates to come out, and then retook that space, right?
Yeah. And High Noon could have done a lot.
Be nice.
Yeah, it could have done a lot, but I think he fat fingered on that one with the bob there. I've been there, done that. I switched it off of Q for that reason of accidentally hitting the alt button when it's bad. So, but maybe Blue Devils will come back and hopefully keep it in the game.
Well, I got to tell you, Adam, I really did appreciate your analysis. And, you know, I'm going to give not only my fat fingers, but the fat fingers of everyone else a rest as we get ready to go into a quick break. But don't worry, when we come back, we will have more Overwatch action for you right here at the EGFH.
Me too. And that was really fun.
I do have really fat fingers, though.
I hear you. Wait, is the 4:45 match canceled?
Yeah, I was about to say, so... Okay, well, if we're not doing that one, then I got to skedaddle because I got a game at 6.
Sounds good. Adam, appreciate you. Captain, you're good. Adam, stay here for a second. Juke, bring in Blizzard whenever. Adam, how did you feel about the analytical points?
Please.
I've been...
Okay.
It's been a while since I've done casting. I'm a bit rusty. Season 2, as a support main, I took a break. Lost that touch of knowing the meta. But I think I did well. That's what you were asking.
Yeah. No, I just, yes, that is exactly what I was asking. I just want to make sure that you also felt good about that because I felt like that was really good input. Yeah, just making a couple bullet points and talking about them. And also, in my experience, don't ever try and have like an exact phrasing in your head or whatever that you want to say.
Yeah.
Just have a bullet point and then talk about it, you know? And because if you know what you want to say, you don't have to think about like reciting a script or nothing like that. If you know what you want to say and you know the point that you want to make, then you just kind of talk about that and it should come like naturally after